Hello viewer, you are likely watching this video through a phone, computer, or television screen. Regardless of what device you are watching this on, they all use the same parts. Your device has a battery that acts as a fuel source and a microchip that acts as a brain. These components are made from a very rare metal called cobalt. 70% of the world's cobalt comes from mines in the Democratic Republic of Congo. Therefore, it is a safe assumption for the Congo to be a very rich country since the entire world depends on them for cobalt. Wrong. The Congo is among the top 5 poorest countries in the world. Millions of Congolese people work in these said cobalt mines, some as young as 7 years old. They work in dangerous conditions. They don't have basic equipment such as gloves or protective headgear. The cause for this extreme poverty is neocolonialism. Neocolonialism is a term coined by Kwame Nkrumah, the first Ghanaian president. Neocolonialism is a condition in which a former colony is legally sovereign but remains economically and politically controlled from the outside, typically through indirect means. Nkrumah wrote firsthand about the never-ending exploitation of Africa done by the West. Although official occupation of most African countries ended in the 1960s, the exploitation never did. Known as the Church Committee Report, the official U.S. Senate investigation found that CIA Director Alan Dulles ordered the assassination of Congolese Prime Minister Patrice Lumumba. Western government agencies like the CIA, DGSE, and SIS have worked to cause instability to control the natural resources of Africa. The 4 richest countries in the world are Apple, Google, Nvidia, and Microsoft. Each one of these companies is based out of the United States, and each one of them produces products that use the same cobalt that is mined by children in Africa. Since these companies are based out of the United States, it is in the United States' best interest to keep the quality of life in the Congo as low as possible. More instability equals cheaper labor and cheaper costs, ultimately leading to higher profits for Western companies and cheaper products for Western consumers. If African nations were allowed to be truly independent, prices of technology would rise an estimated 20 to 100%. An Xbox or PlayStation would go from $650 to $1,300. You may be asking yourself, it's been decades since official colonialism ended. Why don't African people stand up and take back control of their own country? The reason Africa still finds itself in this situation is because of the assassination or removal of competent leaders. Thomas Sankara is the man who dared to stand up to the West. In the nation of Burkina Faso, he staged a successful military coup without spilling a single drop of blood, taking back his country in 1983. He kicked out Western companies, rejected Western handouts/debt traps, made his country self-sufficient, vaccinated 2.5 million children, broke down gender barriers, and launched a literacy campaign that raised the literacy rate from 13% to 73% in just 4 years. But he was assassinated in 1987 by the DGSE. Similar stories like this happen all over Africa, from Muammar Gaddafi in Libya to Patrice Lumumba in the Congo. Even Nkrumah was overthrown by the West. When African people try to stand up for Africans, the West shuts it down by any means necessary. So what is being done about this? The most visible answer is awareness. The African people have become more aware of the traps set by the West. Leaders like Ibrahim of Burkina Faso worked to put a stop to neocolonialism by following in the path set by his predecessors. Additionally, advocates of minimalism movements argue that if global demand for tech products fell, demand for cobalt would fall as well, giving the West no reason to further exploit these areas. But these remedies aren't enough. Traoré is only the leader of Burkina Faso. Most of Africa, like the Congo, are still fighting on their own. As well as the demand for tech every year is increasing. With the rise of AI, the demand for advanced microchips is the highest it has ever been. So, the next time you pick up your phone to doom scroll, remember that African blood was spilled to make it. And if anyone dares try to challenge this system, they end up dead. Meanwhile, the countries who benefit from this exploitation remain untouched. Neocolonialism is the invisible hand shaping the world today. We know it is real, so the real question is, what will it take to stop it?